A full-scale World War III is just one step away. That is exactly what the Russian President Vladimir Putin said after his victory speech, after he just won the Russia election. Now we're going to get to that, but we are also now getting reports that there are specific cities, certain locations, military bases that are actually potentially being attacked. These are the ones that are the highest level, the most concerning, okay? The biggest threat, and those are here in the United States. I'll just show you the map really quick. There it is. We will discuss that in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates, and now let's begin. So it is highly concerning that we are not just getting reports of a potential threat, but now we're being shown maps of places in the United States that are actually seeing the highest threat level. That's concerning. But it's all because of what just happened. Russian President Vladimir Putin, he scored a resounding win. And what's very problematic is we do not know what's next for Russia. All we know is that Vladimir Putin is now warning the West and NATO that we are just one step away from a full-scale World War III. Now, I want to read this to you, okay? Because this is an article from Newsweek, just came out, but says Putin warns of a full-scale World War III in his victory speech. Well, in his speech, okay, and I want to read just a little bit of this to you, because again, I think this is very important. He's taking questions from reporters, okay? And he's asked about the possibility of a conflict between Russia and the West. And he replied, I think that everything is possible in the modern world. But I have already said, and it is clear to everyone, that it will be one step away from a full-scale third world war. I think hardly anyone is interested in this. However, even though nobody is interested in a third world war, all countries are preparing for it. China is preparing for World War III. The United States has been prepared for World War III for quite a while. Russia is preparing for World War III, but at the same time, they're actually pushing out additional threats. For instance, this one. Putin warns again that Russia is ready to use nuclear weapons if its sovereignty is threatened. He also is very clear that the purpose of weapons is to use them. But when he's talking about nuclear weaponry, and then he says the purpose of weapons is to use them, what do you think that means? That probably means he is ready to use nuclear weapons. That's the concern. Now, I want to read you this, okay? It's another article from Newsweek. But the reason why I want to read you this is because this is a map that's showing U.S. cities that Russia would strike first if war were to break out. This was just published this morning. Now, I want to show you this because, again, everything's possible. Do we think Russia is going to come in and attack the United States here on our soil? No. That is likely not going to happen. However, just because it's not a high probability does not mean we should not be prepared for it. One of the things that somebody was saying the other day is that they're spending, thousands and thousands of dollars trying to put together an underground bunker. And this was, somebody wrote this in a comment, and I simply replied saying that, okay, that's great. That's good that you're preparing for something like that, but do you have things to prepare for something smaller? For example, just a cut. Do you have, excess water? Do you have food? Just in case something were to happen, like a grocery store gets shut down because their system doesn't work. They can't accept credit cards. They don't accept cash, right? What happens then? And you cannot go to the grocery store and buy water. You can't go to the grocery store or a pharmacy and get medicine. Do you have those things? Guess what the person said? No. Because they're putting all their money in their bunker. Well, if all the money's in the bunker, but yet the highest probability is we would see a cyber attack where you cannot go to the grocery store and buy anything because, well, if you don't have cash and you can't use your credit card, what do? Right? That's the highest probability. But I want to show you this map, okay? I want to start by reading this article from Newsweek. Here we go. It says, the threat of nuclear escalation has never been ever present as the West continues to bolster Ukraine and frustrate the Kremlin's military campaign. For Moscow, the nuclear card has been useful in deterring deeper NATO involvement in the conflict. But, as Putin warned, everything is possible in the modern world. He says, there is no indication that a nuclear confrontation between NATO and Russia is imminent. U.S. officials have repeatedly said they see no signs of Russia preparing to use nuclear weapons, regardless of the bellicose rhetoric employed by Putin and his Kremlin allies, or the decision to deploy tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus. It says a nuclear exchange would be disastrous for all involved. The Federation of American Scientists estimates that Russia has around 5,580 nuclear weapons compared to the United States 5,428. Both are thought to have around 1,600 active deployed strategic nuclear warheads. Again, that's a problem. That's a lot. So, the potential targets if Russia decides a nuclear strike. And this is not based off of a warning from Russia. This is not Russia saying, we are going to attack this place and this place and this place. Okay? I just want to show you this map. All right? In this map right here, so you can see blue is a major city. Red is a military or nuclear base. Yellow is a command or control site. The reason why they're talking about a command or control site, some, yes, they're very important. Others, it's a political motivated. Okay, so it holds a lot of weight in that area. All right, so you can see it right here. I'm not going to go and name all these places, but just to kind of name a few, these are the cities that they say are the ones that would be hit first because of their political, military, and industrial value. Some of those cities include Washington, D.C., New York City, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Dallas, Fort Worth area, Miami, Philadelphia, Houston, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Denver, and Miami. Those are the cities they say would be the ones that would likely be hit first. Now, just want to point out again, the chances of a nuclear attack on the United States are very slim. The reason why they're very slim is because of multiple reasons, but number one, Russia does not want to engage in a nuclear war with the United States, mainly because all the warheads are not here in the United States. We cannot just go and someone can't just attack us here on U.S. soil and expect they're going to eliminate all the warheads, because we have a bunch in other countries as well. We do not know exactly where all the warheads are located. We know where some are, but we don't know where everyone is. That is part of the problem. So if Russia were to attack the United States, there would likely be our allies that would go and use some of our warheads and attack Russia as well. That is why some are calling out for a full-scale World War III very soon. But again, those are ones that are trying to just spread the fear. I don't believe a world war is going to happen, not with Russia and the United States. If it happens, it could happen with other countries. The United States could be involved, but I do not believe Russia will get involved, especially when they are trying to win the war with Ukraine first. They're struggling with Ukraine. So if they are struggling with Ukraine, they do not want to jump into a war with some even greater power. It's just not going to work. It does not make sense. So that's where things are at right now. But just understand, with Russian President Vladimir Putin coming out and saying that a full-scale World War III is just one step away, that is very scary. Because he has been threatening these things for years. And I don't know if he ever stops. But again, he just won the next election, so we are going to be with Vladimir Putin for many more years, unless he were to pass away. So we'll see what happens moving forward. All I can tell you is I will be here every step of the way. I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing. I'll see you guys on the next one.